Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about planning. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the 9th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Stroy, your corporate coaching and training guy committed to your success, president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is available on Amazon. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan, and trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy, a Japanese phrase is Konichiwa. Now, Konichiwa actually is an interesting one, because when do you use this, right? Because Japan, we have morning, ohayo gozaimasu, right? Good morning, which basically goes up till midday. Then we have konbanwa, which means good evening. So when does konnichiwa, basically good afternoon, stop, and when does konbanwa, good evening, start? Basically noon, start using konnichiwa, and sunset is when you'd stop using konnichiwa and start using konbanwa. Now, sunset's about 4:30 p.m. during winter at the moment. So as soon as that sun goes down, we're into konbanwa and no more konnichiwa. So between noon and sunset, konnichiwa, 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 hello, good afternoon, hello, like that. All right, this is episode number 444, and we are talking about the planning process for leaders. We've all heard that old saw, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. And we go back to our work, somehow imagining we have mastered the planning process. It is very insightful, however, to watch a team when given a simple project. Our instinct for action seems to overwhelm us, and we leap straight into the details. The nitty-gritty of the execution is occupying all of the brain space. No planning is going on whatsoever. How can that be when we all know we need to plan if we don't want to fail? One of the problems is that very few people are ever given any training on how to do the planning itself, and we wind up copying what our bosses did. This is especially the case in Japan, where following orders and reproducing what your seniors did is accepted behaviour. If the bosses were masters of the planning process, then this wouldn't be a problem. Unfortunately, that is far from the reality. So we need to make sure that the team are cognizant of how to plan projects and work. Project planning can be broken down to an 8-step process, which is simple to follow and very logical. Step 1, desired outcome. What are the outcomes we want? How does this fit into the organization's direction? We need to be very clear at the start on what the final achievement will look like. This sounds easy, but projects can have multiple desired outcomes. We always have limited time and resources, so some hard thinking needs to be done at the start to make sure we are setting out on the right track. Importantly, we need the project team to be sold on the outcome. We cannot assume they will simply just follow our orders like robots. They have to be sold on the goal, or they won't have the commitment and motivation required to put in the sustained work needed. Step number 2, current situation. Where are we today? What is the current reality? We need to see the situation both internally and externally. This is a mini project in itself in order to really accurately understand the starting point. We can't just work off vague assumptions. We need concrete details, and that means hard numbers and accurate measurements. Step 3, goals. We need to clearly define and set goals. The goals must be realistic, reasonable, challenging, and achievable. We need a good allocation of related tasks to achieve the goals, taking into consideration the abilities of our team members. There will be a number of goals, so there needs to be a hierarchy of aspirations. The bigger goals need to be broken down to daily units, which lead to the achievement of long-term outcomes. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is sponsored by, on the 2nd of February, we'll be doing the Dale Carnegie course. That's a 12-week course for the main modules. On the 3rd of February, we'll be doing a high-impact presentations, 2-day program, 2 instructors, everything videoed, unbelievable program for presentation skills. On the 8th of February, Confident English. This is for Japanese who've been going to English language school, but actually they don't speak up because they don't have the confidence. We fix that. On the 14th of February, we're doing leadership training for managers. Our website is www.dale, D-A-L-E hyphen Carnegie, C-A-R-N-E-G-I-E .co.jp. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 1,000 for you there at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, as well as my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's a premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, we have Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Step 4, action steps. Many times goal achievement fails because effective workable programs and plans of action to achieve the desired outcomes were not well designed. I remember joining an organization just they found out the $5 million they had allocated for a new operating system was a complete waste. It didn't work and had to be scrapped. The execution piece wasn't properly planned, and action steps to get to the goal in the end proved to be insufficient to the task. There must be clarity about what needs to happen across everyone involved. Key details will include requirements, task allocation, coordination, possible external and internal barriers, sequencing of the project stages, and overall supervision necessities. Step 5, timeframes. We must have clear timetables. Unit components must be completed on time, and everyone needs to be clear about the headlines which affect them. Accountability for deadlines needs to be enforced. Step 6, resources. we need to estimate the cost of the plan. Because it is important that all managerial activities be cost-effective, the plans must be comprehensively looking at costs for people, material, time, and the opportunity costs. Step 7, obstacles and contingencies. Nothing ever goes to plan is ancient wisdom. We know that. So we need a plan for it. We should have factored in additional time at the start so that we aren't putting too much pressure on the project completion. We need a series of plan Bs built into the fabric of the plan. Step 8, tracking and measurement. What gets measured gets done, so we need to concentrate on the essentials. We need to know if the project is deviating off course. We need warning beacons set in place to tell us if we're about to hit trouble before it hits. Before we start, we analyse which factors might preclude achieving the desired results. These 8 steps give us the map to move the project forward. Getting the map right and then following the map are the 2 key components to getting the results we need. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But as we know from experience, none of this is easy, and we need constant vigilance and adjustments as we bump up against challenging and changing realities. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Take what you found valuable, immediately put into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. Be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.